Welcome to the world of Norwyn, episode 2, season 1. In this episode, we'll be continuing building my fantasy world in real time. And the cool thing is, you're coming with me. You're not just coming along for the ride. You're actually going to give me input, insight, and you will get to determine what happens. You'll actually have say in some of the characters and their development. And I'm going to talk to you about one of those characters today. In fact, I'm going to talk to you about the absolute most terrifying character that I've ever created. Her name is Lady Kathryne, and she's known as the Raven Queen. Now, I'm really glad that I'm doing it like this because I just got a comment today from a viewer on one of my videos that let me know that there actually is already a Raven Queen in existence in some fantasy world. Something about wizards or Dungeons and Dragons. Honestly, I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know that existed. I actually thought I came up with an original idea. So based on that feedback, I'm actually modifying the title of the book. So that's why I'm really glad that I'm doing this the way that I'm doing this, where I'm building this world in real time. Because getting viewer feedback like this is super helpful because I don't know everything, and I certainly haven't read everything or been exposed to everything in the fantasy genre. And so I'm really glad that somebody let me know about that. So what I'm kind of thinking about doing right now is, instead of titling my book The Raven Queen, I'm going to title it Lady Kathryne and basically have the subtitle be The Legend of the Raven Queen. Now, from what I understand in my little bit of research that I've done, book titles are not copyrighted. They're not copyrightable. You can have multiple books with the same title, and there's plenty of books out there with the same title. So it's more about confusion. I don't want to be confusing. I don't want to be confused with a different Raven Queen, obviously, that's already out there. But from what I understand, the other Raven Queen is more of a supernatural deity and not anything like my Raven Queen. But it's interesting how, you can come up with an idea and you think it's original and it's actually not. And there's that old saying, there's nothing new under the sun, which actually comes from the book of Ecclesiastes. A lot of people don't know that. But anyways, I'm really excited about this series. This is a feature, as I've mentioned before, that is fairly new with YouTube. It's called shows. And what it means is that you can create a series, much like a Netflix series, where you have seasons, you have episodes, you can binge watch seasons in order. You can skip ahead to season 4 or 5 or 10, and then skip back to season 3 or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to do these in order. So this is still season 1, episode 2. And today, what I really want to talk about is the most terrifying... I'm going to lean against this big rock. The most terrifying character that I've ever created. And by the way, if we haven't yet met, my name is Weston Gold, and I'm a fantasy writer. So this is really fun for me because we're doing this in real time with user feedback, viewer feedback, audience feedback. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of all of this. And if you have suggestions, thoughts, things I should avoid, things I need to be careful of, anything at all, I really appreciate it. Because I want to do everything legal. I want to do everything above board. I don't want to infringe on anybody else, obviously. And I don't want to create any confusion at all. But anyways, my Raven Queen, the Raven Queen of my world, called Norwyn, she's terrifying. And she's mysterious. And it's unsure right now if she commands the ravens. I've been doing a lot of studying about ravens lately, which is fascinating. They're so intelligent. They recognize human faces. They remember where they stored food. They use tools. They create tools. It's amazing. So what's cool about using ravens in a fantasy world, for me, is you really don't even have to make them magical, because they're already magical. They're already mysterious and I don't know, just strange and intelligent and all that stuff that goes along with ravens already, in terms of, death, signs of an omen, those kinds of things. So it's really cool because you just go with the way ravens already are in terms of what we know about them and what they represent. But the Raven Queen has a specific name. Her name is Lady Kathryne, and it's a specific spelling. I'll show you that in just a second. And yeah, I don't want to reveal too much, but I am going to read to you the legend of the Raven Queen, because in my world, the world of Norwyn, it's not quite certain whether she's real. Is she just a legend? Does she really exist, or is it just something that exists in legend? Because the legend itself is ancient. I mean, we're talking centuries old. And no one's quite sure what to make of her. No one is quite sure what she is or who she is. Is she good? Is she evil? Is she what is she exactly? No one quite knows, because the legend has been passed down from generation to generation, and there's been so many different interpretations, so many different understandings, so many different stories that have been made up as a result. Some people claim that they've seen her. It's kind of like our Bigfoot, and I've done videos on Bigfoot, by the way, so check those out on my channel. It's almost kind of the same kind of phenomenon in my fantasy world called Norwyn. And it's so cool because she has this really striking crimson hair, and her cloak is actually made of midnight feathers. So she actually almost looks like a raven, and she, of course, rides a white horse. So I'm going to see if I can show you the book cover that I have so far. And, I get a lot of comments about AI. And I'm not going to deny that I use modern tools for my artwork, for my books. And someone asked me just today, is this AI generated? And I'm like, well, I can't afford to spend $10,000 and hire a illustrator. I mean, I can't even afford to spend $2,000 to hire an illustrator. So as much as people love to rag on AI, it makes people like me, it gives people like me who just want to write, we just want to write. We just want to do our thing. Indie authors like myself, would have never been able to publish a book, create a decent book cover, and so on. So I don't know. It's one of those things, I know people love it or hate it. Most people seem to hate it. but I think it's probably more of a vocal minority. But at any rate, here is my cover. And on the cover, you can see it says the Raven Queen, which I'm going to change now because of viewer and audience input. Because of the comment that I got today, you can go and find it. Because I'm just going to reverse it. Instead of Lady Kathryne, instead of the Raven Queen, the legend of Lady Kathryne, I'm going to change it to Lady Kathryne, the legend of the Raven Queen. So I'm just going to reverse the title and the subtitle. And I think that's going to work really well. And I don't know how well you can see this right now, but it says, legend says she's the devil in the flesh. When the ravens gather, she's already near. So that's kind of like the teaser, if you will. And it references the legend that I'm actually going to read to you now. But I love this because it's so mysterious. I mean, look at her. Look at her. Isn't she awesome? I mean, is she a queen? Look at that hair. You know, look at that feather cloak that she has. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And obviously this is Gothic fantasy, and I feel like I've created something that's a little bit different in terms of a subgenre that I'm calling cathedral fantasy. And I kind of like that term. And you'll see why. I'm going to do a whole nother video on cathedral fantasy and why I chose that term. And I think it'll become clear with time. But, I mean, you can kind of see that's the Red Abbey in the background. That's a cathedral. So that's one little hint. So anyways, I think it's awesome. I mean, I just think it's incredible. It really creates the look and the feel, the feeling, the haunting feeling that I'm looking for this book. And so I've written the legend, I've written the prologue, and I'm working on chapter 1 right now. And chapter 1 it's a tough chapter to write. I'm finding more and more, but it's coming together, and I'm getting really excited about it. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and read to you the legend of the Raven Queen. They sing of her in whispers where the grave winds sigh, of a queen unthroned beneath a starless sky. Her crown is wrought of midnight wings, her feathered cloak of endless night, and where her shadow passes, all warmth forgets its light. She's the devil in the flesh, a legend born of dread, a voice like distant thunder, calling softly to the dead. She walks where silence gathers, where the dying dare not weep, and calls the restless spirits from their shallow, haunted sleep. The ravens are her heralds, black eyes that never close. They circle where she lingers, where the final darkness grows. No prayer can turn her footsteps, no blade can stay her hand. For she is older than the bones beneath the oldest land. And when the ravens gather, thick as storm and dread, the Black Queen is coming, and she walks among the dead. So when their dark shadows darken earth and sky, you'd best pray for mercy, run, or you will surely die. Isn't that awesome? So obviously all this can change. This is all subject to change. This is a work in progress. So obviously nothing's in stone as I stand behind the stone. And I'm open to feedback. So give me your feedback. Give me your thoughts. I love it. I appreciate it so much. Obviously, I'm new at this. I'm not Tolkien. I'm not Lewis. I'm not, anybody special. I just love writing, and I love creating worlds and creating stories. And, somebody once asked me, how did you get into all this? How did you get into writing stories? And you know what the answer is? One person who I really respect actually told me, you're a good storyteller. They said, you know what, Weston? You're a great storyteller. And that's all I needed. I just needed one person And I think I've heard it from other people as well, but one person in particular that I really respect told me, and has told me repeatedly, actually, now that I think about it, over and over again, that I'm a good storyteller. I'm a good storyteller. And that's what I needed. I needed somebody to give me that affirmation. And so here I am. And I'm working on a world called Norwyn, and another world I'm working on called Lantern Valley. And I like to say, welcome to the Star Pine Forest. And then that's the forest in Lantern Valley. And then in Norwyn, there's a forest called Wolf Shade, which you'll be hearing more about. And I just love it. So I have a map. In episode 3, I'm going to show you the map. And we're going to talk more about the world, how I created it. And I'm going to give you a little more of a taste of the book, Lady Kathryne, the Raven Queen. So until then, I'll see you next time. I'm Weston Gold, and I'm a fantasy writer.